Hello again, everyone. It's Nick Michalak and the exceptional Steve Frazier.
Well, thank you.
And we need some Renny Harlin again.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done some...
It's been a while since Die Hard 2. It's a little too long. So, guys, we're giving you Deep Blue Sea today, one of the phenomenal films from Renny Harlin's filmography. So if you guys got your own copy of the film, get your subtitles turned on. Get your timestamp up to 0 so we can sync up with a countdown and move forward. So, guys, in 3, 2, 1, play.
So we just recently covered the greatest shark movie ever, yes. Jaws, and we said, what about we go in a slightly different direction?
Yes,
not quite Jaws 2. This movie has a little bit more action than Jaws 2.
God, yes.
It's shorter than Jaws.
It's shorter than Jaws 2. And he's got a hell of a cast.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's got some problems, but but you know what? It's a fun movie. This is a
as I've been saying since we did Dream Master, Renny Harlin gives us wonderful cinematic junk food.
That's correct.
And for me personally, I think Long Kiss Goodnight is like the best film he ever did, but this film's kind of like might be like definitive Renny Harlin. If you're ready to just indulge himself, this is kind of the flavor you get.
Yeah, and
because it feels like the same guy who did Dream Master did this film.
It does. You're right. You're right. This feels like
off.
Right. It's not quite Dream Master 2, but it's right there. And of course, this is somewhere near the 21st birthday of this film.
Yeah,
we're pretty
released
close.
On the 30th of July in 1999.
And these two are about to make sweet love. Is that what's happening? Good looking couple.
And like what Renny Harlin did on Cutthroat Island, they didn't shoot this thing out in the high seas. They went on a tank and whatnot down in Baja, Mexico, for Fox Studios.
Yeah, I think it's the same tank they used for Titanic. Right?
Yes, it was. They said one the EPK feature or something like that the thing was
not the wine.
The tank was so big that it
Shut up, Renny Harlin. The red wine is not the same as blood. Go ahead.
I was saying, pretty much said the tank they had on the Fox studio down there was so big it qualified for its own body of water.
By whom? The government?
Whoever makes these decisions.
Just curious who would actually make that decision. I mean, we've kind of got a setup here of, like your group of teenagers that are out ready to be killed.
Yeah. It starts off feeling like a late 90s post-Scream slasher movie or something.
I mean, this could be a Friday the 13th opening.
Yeah. There we go. So,
notice it...
Oh,
Jesus Christ. It took Steven Spielberg an hour to reveal the shark.
Yeah.
It took Renny Harlin...
About 2 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
Because Renny was saying, like, no, man, this time you're going to see the shark. We ain't playing games anymore, man.
Right. This one isn't
I've got technology that works.
This one is designed to be, like, I mean, this is a straight-up action movie.
Oh, yeah.
With horror elements, obviously, but, I mean... Here's your boy.
Oh, Tom Jane. Your guy from The Mist.
Well, yeah, he's my guy, too. He's from The Mist. I don't know why I just think of him as, like, the Punisher.
Well, he was for a hot minute there.
But yeah, The Mist. God, I love The Mist. I mean, we've already got helicopters. This is great. Tremendous. We got Wells Fargo. And we got a female expert here. Mm-hmm. That's kind of maybe new at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's got an accent.
Yeah, she does.
All right.
That's very odd. You've got Ronnie Cox in the scene. He has no dialogue.
Really?
He's just there in the scene for no reason now. I don't know if they shot stuff and they got rid of it.
That could be.
Because it's not in the deleted scenes on this. I just checked. So, I don't know.
I mean...
he got paid for something.
Captain Bogomil. What was his character in RoboCop?
Oh, Dick Jones.
Dick Jones. So, Bogomil is her dad in this? Is that the idea? I like that it's kind of science-based, right? Like,
yeah.
We're genetically testing, Alzheimer medicine, I guess, on...
Right. The science gets into all things, okay, sharks live for, 100 years or whatnot. Their brain activity doesn't decrease, and they don't have all these ailments that humans have. So we're going to try to tap into their genetics to kind of create these medicines to kind of cure Alzheimer's and stuff like that, and cancer.
I mean, it's not a bad premise.
Yeah.
I think that's a reasonable argument.
That's reasonable, yeah.
And we got Sam Jackson just being a badass.
Yeah. I like the look on him in this film. It's a little different for him. It works.
A suit?
Oh, no, he's got the hair, the goatee. He's usually...
How many movies has Sam Jackson worn a suit in?
How many films has Sam Jackson made? Like 5,000?
Not very many, I guess, is my point. See, even this was in the tank? Or is this some kind of ocean shot that they superimposed?
I'm not sure about that. No, I don't know.
I mean, this is a cool set, right?
Yeah.
It looked a little CGI there in that shot, but
we'll get a little bit more.
yeah, there's some CGI coming up. But I mean, it's Aquatica. There's it's a cool setup, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that shark looks good.
Yeah, this is all animatronic. They said that these things, when they had them in the water, had 1,000 horsepower behind them.
Jesus Christ!
They could actually move, radio control them to do exactly what you see here. They look like they can actually move organically.
The articulation, the left and right,
the thrashing,
the wiggle.
Yeah.
We got a lot of scientists. We got a lot of... I guess he's not in a suit right now, but he was in the last scene. But here he's got... that's a very yacht look.
Yes. Very country club.
And I like that Sam Jackson, is kind of like... It's a different role.
Yeah.
Like, you would anticipate him playing the LL Cool J role if you were on paper. You're like, but he's
because which role it was, they offered him a different role in the film, and I guess his agents felt like whatever it was they offered him wasn't a big enough part, and they didn't think it was juicy enough for him.
Sure.
But Sam had already worked with Renny Harlin on Long Kiss Goodnight, and Renny kind of like, okay, I'm giving you this other role. I've written this other role. This is the one I want you to do. And he was very much pleased with this one he got. The big money man.
Yeah, I mean, he's...
billionaire, whatever cases, that's running this corporation.
The boss, the muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's... I mean, that's a scary looking shark.
Yeah. And apparently, from the trivia... Well, actually, no. Actually, in the featurette or whatnot, Tom Jane did swim alongside a real shark.
Okay.
It was the last shot they allowed him to do. You have to shoot everything else in the film before we're going to allow you to do that.
Just in case, right?
Just in
right.
case.
If you lose a digit
if you
or
get maimed or something, yeah.
then we at least have everything else in the can. Now, did they use that scene here somewhere?
I don't know which shot it is. They didn't point it out or anything.
Because, you know, if it was meant to be kind of a training situation, then doing it at the end is pointless.
Right.
You know. Oh, he's the pharmaceutical guy. Yeah. I see.
Yeah, he's the money man.
I mean, if you were to come along as a pharmacy company with a cure for Alzheimer's.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Trillions.
Yeah, you're right. I was going to say billions. You're probably closer.
Probably, considering.
We've kind of, I mean, there's a lot of like...
There's a lot of talky up front, yeah.
I mean, we have to kind of set up the premise. We got to
get the players in line.
That's not even a bad effect there with the little ripple across. What's with his ears? Is that a character issue?
I didn't notice.
Here we got Janice Soprano before. This was 99.
Yeah.
So this was right before she joined The Sopranos.
Okay.
She was not in the first season. To the best of my knowledge, which was in 99. Yeah, she's Tony Soprano's sister. For those that have not watched The Sopranos.
That would include me.
That would include you, which is why I brought it up, because I knew that you were in the minority on that. Taking a leak there?
Stellen Skarsgard.
With his hand up by his belly button. Good for him. Yeah, the actress there from The Sopranos is a first cousin to Nick Turturro and John Turturro.
Rappaport, man.
This guy...
He's a little wild these days. He's a little bit of a head case.
I do love Rappaport. Very smart guy. Extremely knowledgeable about sports. I believe he directed a 30 for 30 on ESPN about the Knicks.
All right.
So, I mean, this guy... I mean, he knows his sports.
I mean, he's New York all the way.
Right. I mean, he's right there with Spike Lee as far as, like, Knicks fan. I kind of forgot that he was in this. It's been a minute since I've seen this. But he's fun. He's a fun guy. I'm always fascinated by these sets that they come up with. Like, who created this, like, underground elevator? Like, do you know how hard that would be?
Oh, God, I can't even imagine. I mean, I have no idea how you build something like this.
I mean, she's explaining it right now about the different levels and underground. Three stories underground.
Right.
Like, I have a hard enough time figuring out how they build a parking deck underground, let alone in the ocean.
Yes.
And there have been plenty of movies with, like, underwater labs or, you know, I mean, including Jaws 3D that we'll probably cover sometime down the road. Remember those?
That was old zip drive. Boy, that didn't last another decade.
Whew. Yeah, that thing holds a couple of PDF files, and then I don't think that file.
It's like 100 megabytes or something.
That disk would not have held that information that she was just showing on the screen. Stellen Skarsgard is just tremendous.
Oh. He specializes in playing nothing normal.
Correct.
Every time I see him, he's always playing something little. Not so much that it's written that way, but he performs almost every character in a very, very unnatural type of way. He's very off kilter in how he performs things, which makes him very fascinating to watch.
If anybody has not seen the HBO miniseries about Chernobyl, which he is in, I highly recommend it. It is maybe the best miniseries, top 5 miniseries I've ever seen in my life. Then again, I'm obsessed with history and natural disasters and that kind of thing. Chernobyl is awesome. He's tremendous in it. He is, of course, the father to Bill Skarsgård, and who is now officially a horror icon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then his brother, not Stellan's brother, but Bill's brother.
Yeah.
Bill's
Alexander, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is going to be in the TV miniseries adaptation of Stephen King's The Stand, which I am so excited about. So he's playing the lead bad guy there. His brother's the lead bad guy in another Stephen King story. It's tremendous.
Yeah. And
Thomas Jane is in Stephen King's The Mist.
No.
I can't think of Sam
1408. With
he was
Cusack.
in 1408. You're right.
Cusack.
We got 1 degree of separation here for everybody. LL Cool J.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the old Coke machine. This is very similar to the one that I have. My mom has in her house. I like it. I like it. I don't know what kind of cake he's baking there, but it looked pretty good. Those birds also live to be like 100 years old. That bird is probably still alive today, and there are people in this movie that have probably passed away, and the bird's still alive. Like, what an elaborate setup with underground, fenced-in sections like this.
Yeah.
It's like Bruce Willis in Die Hard here going through the vents. That looks a little CGI to me.
Ooh.
And yeah, this is a little
a little fakey.
Yeah, this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It does not hold up. Maybe I was talking over it, but what was the point of that?
There's a tiger shark coming in, so the Makos went after it.
I see, and just killed it. Okay. Yeah. I didn't think that they had access to like outside.
Right. I didn't think so. Or the case where they were saying something about a tiger shark coming in.
I like that you already kind of feel uneasy.
A little bit.
Oh, swerve! Why did she have 2 guns? Oh, those were the flare guns. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, just going to shoot guns? Finlandia. All right. So now we got a little backstory here. Now that I'm thinking about it, there is quite a bit of talking in this movie.
Yeah. Well, it picks up.
I just feel bad because there's not much to talk about.
Yeah. As we get into, it's like I think Tom Jane just it's kind of a crime that his career didn't really kind of take off at any point. He just kind of he just never had like other big films or whatnot, big hits or whatnot. He just kind of he had a few spikes here and there, but then he just kind of went back to like doing direct-to-video movies, stuff like that. It's like as the film goes along, the guy looks like an action star, but I think his voice is kind of weak. It doesn't have like a strong leading man voice.
Unlike Sam Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I would even argue Stellan Skarsgard. Yeah. I'd say it's more of a charisma thing.
Probably.
You know,
he's a little
He's kind of dry.
He's a little dry, yeah. He doesn't have a lot of facial expressions as we go through the film for Jane.
When did he go from Tom to Thomas?
Well, I don't know.
Because there was a point, like when he was the Punisher, he was just Tom Jane.
Yeah.
But at some point, he switched his official titling to Thomas because apparently that's more official. I don't know. You'll take me seriously if I'm Thomas.
It's like Charles Sheen. Remember he did that in like the late 90s? It was Charlie Sheen that's like, no, I'll be serious. I'm Charles now.
I don't remember this. Because I just know
there were a couple of like little direct-to-video drama things where he did little small independent films where it's like, it's Charles Sheen now. Despite the fact Charles still isn't his real name. It's Carlos Estevez.
Carlos Sheen.
I don't know. It's one of those silly things. You want to try to rebrand yourself. Just like, sometimes it doesn't work.
For some reason, Emilio Sheen doesn't have a good name.
Emilio Estevez, it's got a nice flow.
It rolls right off the tongue.
Nice flow.
Charlie Sheen rolls off the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Jane. I don't know. I don't mind Thomas.
Yeah.
But I don't think it helped, I guess was my point after all.
It didn't shift anything for him if that was an agent's intention or something like that.
Right, because I didn't see The Punisher. Was there backlash over that, like it being bad?
I didn't bother seeing it. It just felt weird having a Punisher movie set in Tampa, Florida. I was like, what are you doing here? And John Travolta's the villain. And I was like,
See, I don't know any better, so that doesn't...
I don't know, just because Punisher's supposed to be like grim, gritty New York City in the gutter or whatnot. Like,
well, he looks like Tampa right here.
But Roy Scheider's in The Punisher.
Okay, interesting.
He plays like his father or his father-in-law or something like that. So the whole ties together somehow. These random discussions we have eventually tie back into 6 Degrees, this Kevin Bacon bit.
Are you telling me that we're just now discovering this hurricane?
Yeah. This gigantic...
Hurricanes are news for weeks prior to them reaching anybody.
15-mile wide freaking tornado. You just saw it 10 seconds ago.
Can we also talk about the fact that there's a bird in the kitchen area and in the pots and pans?
It's got to take a shit sometime.
This is not a sanitary situation. Who's going to clean all the pots and pans after the bird sits in them? Or shits in them?
Well...
I mean, I guess the whole thing's going to be underwater here shortly, so it doesn't really matter. But
it's not bad a shot. It's a little digital compositing. It's not terrible.
I still don't buy that nobody knew about this thing until, 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Come on. But look at how elaborate this thing
yeah.
is.
I think it was about 60 mil they had on this.
For a production budget?
I'm checking. Give me 2 seconds.
I mean, it looks awesome.
Wikipedia says between like 60 and 80 million. So.
And what did it gross? Does it say?
165, so.
Okay. So it made money.
Yeah.
I guess that's the name of the game.
It was a quality profit. Right, they 17 years later decided to make sequels of it.
Yeah. And I want to say there's another one in production right now,
it's
right?
on the Netflix. Third film.
I never saw the second one.
Me neither.
I might watch the third one because I have Netflix.
Well, yeah.
I mean, why not, right? Got to get my hands on that second one. What would it even be about?
It's a slow-mo. Let me find out.
Okay.
Right.
I was trying to figure out a good time to bring up maybe my biggest issue with the whole movie.
It sounds like the second one sounds like almost like the exact same plot. A shark conservation is hired to consult on a top secret project involving genetically enhanced bull sharks funded by a pharmaceutical billionaire. It's the same fucking movie.
So they just remade it.
It sounds like the same fucking movie. Just changed like one thing in it. See about the third film. See if there's a plot synopsis. No synopsis on the third film. It's going to be a while. Oh well.
Okay, so aside from the fact that they're just learning right now that the sharks are actually smarter than they thought.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with a good time. I don't know when is going to be a good time to complain about something here.
Sure, go ahead.
But my issue with this movie is with the title. This movie is called Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
At no point are they more than 30 or 40 feet below the surface.
Right.
There's
like one line at the end of the film that says Deep Blue Sea, and that's the entire connection.
But the movie doesn't take
right.
I mean, the movie takes place in the ocean,
right.
Sure. But it's not like The Abyss,
right,
which takes place in like the Mariana Trench,
the deepest levels of the freaking ocean.
Right. Like when you say Deep Blue Sea, to me that means like deep underwater exploration.
Yeah.
Not 3 stories down in a confined space that's fenced off.
Right.
Like, what? We couldn't come up with a better title? It almost feels like a working title that they got to the end and they were like, yeah, we'll just leave it. Ouch. Look at the teeth on this thing.
Yeah.
Look at the Punisher there and his gun. Nighty-night.
Scuba Punisher.
That would have been a better title. What's the name of this place? Aquatica?
Aquatica.
That would have been a better title. Just call it Aquatica.
Well, is it good enough? It would sound like a late 90s film anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how, that era, there's a weird period from like 98 to 2004 or in that era where like all the TV shows and all the movies all really looked exactly the same.
A little bit, yeah.
And this does not really fit that mold.
No. Because I was looking up credits because the cinematographer on this thing, he has shot the last couple Fast and Furious movies.
Okay.
So he's worked on big stuff. He shot Star Trek Beyond. I think he also shot, talking about this era, did you see Firestorm?
I did not.
Howie Long?
I did not. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I've never seen it, but I always remember the trailer for that thing because there's this whole action film where William Forsythe is like prisoner breaks out and everything in the middle of the wildfires and everything, and they got White Zombie, More Human Than Human on the soundtrack for the trailer.
All right.
The most 90s song I've ever heard.
Is this, am I understanding, not that I don't want to get back to this discussion about,
Sure.
but am I understanding correctly that this is the first like live sampling that they're going to take?
I don't know. It would seem like it.
I mean, obviously it's the first one we've seen, but it almost feels like they've perfected new, or maybe they're just demonstrating for Sam Jackson, like the process.
Potentially.
Okay. Because she's going to like dial in and find the exact spot and use the lasers, sharks with friggin' laser beams on their head.
I think that's the same year.
It might have been.
Sequel.
Going back to the previous talk, for example, when we covered Jason X, which was only a couple years after this.
Roughly, yeah.
Now, it was filmed earlier.
Filmed about
the same time.
Roughly just about the time this thing was released, yeah.
So both of them take place in a confined scientific space.
Yeah.
This one looks badass and completely plausible. I mean, kind of, weird that it's underground and you're like, how did they build it? But it's cool.
Yeah.
Jason X looks like a made-for-TV USA.
Looks like they made it for about $500,000.
Right. I mean, it looks like a TV show.
Yeah.
Like it should be at 10 o'clock on USA.
Right. It's like I've seen like good quality TV pilots that probably cost less than what Jason X cost and look 100 times better than that thing.
I mean, I'm more impressed that South Park can turn around and make an animated show in 6 days. And it looks better than Jason X. Sorry, we don't mean to digress and keep shitting on that. But my point is, being from the same era, this looks head and shoulders above some of the other pieces of the same time frame.
Yeah.
They've acquired the sample, and now they're gonna like live test it.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure how they just have Alzheimer's cells laying around down here, but I mean, this is it. The whole idea is kind of cool, right? Yeah. And talking about, as I usually do about setting up rules and whatever, they've broken this down to where any viewer can understand it.
Right.
Even though it's a very complicated, scientific,
very heady
technical thing, they're presenting it in a way, like, even if you really don't understand the science, the body language and the enthusiasm tell you whatever they have, it's working.
Yes.
And now Sam Jackson's going to make $1 trillion.
Yes.
And I give that, I don't know who wrote this movie, but I feel like
more than a few,
it's little things like that. Because there's definitely the potential for a scientific thing like this.
Oh, this is nice. This
Whoa!
That's a practical effect there, the whole arm thing.
Look at that little swerve. Got him. There was definitely potential for the science to take over.
Right. If I was a little overzealous about the particulars.
Right. And if look at this thing. This is awesome. Oh, yeah. This is tremendous. It could have gone off the rails and you could have lost the audience as opposed to making them excited.
Right.
Which the fact that you brought them into that excitement here and then turn around and got the guy's arm bitten off or bitten off. Not beaten off. He beat him up. That's a different movie. You might want to put a tourniquet on that.
Ooh.
I mean, the white brick is a great choice.
Yeah.
That looks terrible.
Yeah,
it looks like that Bond film with Halle Berry.
Oh, Die Another Day.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Thank God for Casino Royale.
I mean, on the whole, Die Another Day wasn't. I know people don't like it. I didn't think it was the worst movie, but the visuals.
Die Another Day has a good base concept. It just gets way overblown with a lot of ridiculous crap.
Yeah, and that the water looks worse than this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so much looking back. It's kind of an awakening and whatnot to kind of realize it really just took a long time for CGI to have any kind of consistency of quality for anything.
Well,
I mean, it took a long, long time. I
mean, there's that weird like transition from in the 90s where they figured out animatronics.
Right.
Not that they didn't have them the whole time.
Sure.
But, like even the leap from animatronics in Spielberg's Jaws to Spielberg's animatronics in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, with Stan Winston.
Right. That's head and shoulders better.
Right.
But like the 90s, people figured out what you could do with computers.
Right. And they wanted to do everything with them. Which and
you and I have talked about this a ton.
Yeah.
Like in Lethal Weapon 2, they blew up a house.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's all kinds of movies that they like legit do these massive stunts.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, it's cheaper and faster to just pretend. But is it cheaper and faster? And does it look as good? All of that undetermined.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I like again, as we said, the animatronic sharks in this look phenomenal.
Right. The CGI is
there's only a certain limitation towards the dramatic things you really want to do with them underwater, to do these fast attacks and chomp on someone, stuff like that. So you're still implementing the story with feeling like you have unlimited resources to do and execute what you want. But it's just like, okay, well, it can't get that far just yet.
This is actually another great swerve here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because now you've set the audience up to think, oh, good. Like, he's going to make it out of there.
Yeah. And then the winch just jams up or something.
Oh, one arm there. Just going round and round. I wouldn't put your hand on there. That's a bad move.
Yeah. Rip it apart.
Oh, God. Salt water in that wound?
Ooh.
Can we talk about that for a minute?
Ooh.
Oh, my God. And gone. So, in Jaws,
okay,
the shark moved like the boat, right? And it also moved the dock, and it moved.
Oh, yeah.
And here, it's going to move a helicopter. That's fun. I mean, the fact that the shark is stronger than the helicopter is insane, but amazing.
Oh.
Look at this fire explosion. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good mix of real and CGI, and R.I.P. Janice Soprano.
Oh. Renny knows how to blow some shit up, man.
Uh-oh.
Oh. You don't have to worry about cleaning them now.
Well, the bird can just shit out whatever he wants.
It's all in pieces now.
it's interesting that, and here again, I guess there are some parallels to The Abyss, where you've got the underground lab, and the actual cause of the disaster is a hurricane, but the hurricane isn't the story. The hurricane's just the event that leads to the story.
You know, it's so many of these underwater films, like there's always a hurricane in the damn movie.
Well, what else can you really have?
Yeah.
That, you know, I mean...
Like Leviathan with Peter Weller's, like there's a hurricane coming in and stuff like that. Like, okay, well, it just has to happen. We need some other obstacle to come in to cause a problem for them to not be able to escape properly.
Right, there's got to be a causal event.
Yes.
And when you're in the middle of the ocean, there aren't many. I mean, you've got like a
tsunami or something.
Submarine attack from the Russians or the weather.
Oh, well, Stellan Skarsgard was the evil Russian sub-commander in Hunt for October.
Yes, he was. What a great movie.
Chewing up some scenery in that thing. I love him in that.
And you have a review of that on your channel?
Go check it out, folks. I really dig the shit out of that.
Great movie. This is a fun shot. The shark has the... And where is he going? Through the window! But really, the shark is so smart that it said, "You go here."
He's trying to be Jason Voorhees. He's trying to
throw him through the window. Right.
You can't jump through the window.
If Stellan Skarsgard had jumped through the window on his own, he'd have been fine.
Move faster, please.
I mean... At this point, even 2 stories down, the water pressure
would be immense.
Would be enough to, like, if they go underwater, I don't know. I feel like there's a pressurization thing that...
Yeah.
Like, people don't give enough credit for the farther down you go.
Oh, yeah.
The more, you know...
Crush depth and everything.
Crush, yeah. Call that. Pounds per square inch.
Yes.
I know all of our non-American listeners might not understand pounds or inches, but I mean, this thing would fill up so fast. The amount of water is just unfathomable.
Yeah. I'm just always kind of amused with all these kind of water-based films. Like how many gallons did it take? What's the water bill in this movie?
Oh yeah. Well, if they're building it on the tank, you know, then the water's already there. So you just have to you just have to move it around a little bit. This camera shot, just to, you know, the jiggle, to make it look like that looked
tremor.
That looked like the camera was shaking, not that the building was shaking.
Yeah.
Sprung a leak. They're trapped. Like rats. Although rats can swim. I mean, at this point, James Cameron had really done the single most definitive, like, underwater tragedy. I mean, not so much the story.
Twice, almost.
Yeah.
Almost twice. I was trying to figure which one you were talking about. Abyss or Titanic?
Well, I meant Titanic. As far as, like, this whole water in compartments and sections of which obviously he didn't make up. That really happened. But some of the visuals in Titanic, and Titanic is in my personal top 10 favorite movies ever. Mostly because I'm in love with the story and have been obsessed with the whole thing forever, but also just because it's a brilliant telling of the tale. And I buy into the whole Romeo and Juliet thing too. Like I'm down with the love story, even though I realize a lot of people aren't. I just, it's coming off of that. It almost feels like stuff like this, while it looks cool, it's still less than to me.
I mean, like, I think it was like, because Titanic was like December 97, right?
December 19th, 1997.
Okay, because like the following month, Deep Rising comes out with Treat Williams and Famke Janssen from Stephen Sommers did The Mummy later on.
Okay.
That thing bombed. But it's all kinds of wonderful underwater schlock.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Big CGI, underwater sea creature stuff. It's wonderful. It's like Titanic's out here. We're not even going to bother seeing this thing. There's no time for it.
Right. Sometimes you just have those fun movies, and it's. But now that I buy, like the water pressure is going to just blow this place apart.
Oh, yeah. Any weak spot is just going to shoot out like that. Yeah.
Like, I think that's a very cool scene.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson keeps yelling, "Come on," like there's somewhere to go. And Cool J's on another floor, right? He's on
his own little compartment or something. Yeah, he's on his own little thing. Almost kind of feels like they had him in between his certain dates in his like touring schedules. Like, we got to isolate all his scenes for about 3/4 of the film.
Right. His scene, he doesn't have a whole lot of scenes with other people.
No.
I mean, the parrot was good for whenever.
Right.
He didn't have other commitments.
Right. Or something about just seeing the goddamn fin just gives you a little something, man.
It does. It gives you a little ooh.
Look at that clear ass water, man.
I know, isn't that great?
They were shooting in Bahamas, man. They said they went to the Bahamas for some stuff, but this is all kind of, again, Baja Fox Studios and whatnot. But like I said, Renny, man, he likes his tropical climate.
He does.
He likes some exotic stuff, man. Just lay on the beach.
He put Freddy on the beach.
Freddy on the beach, baby.
Now, unlike Titanic, I will say that walking around in this water is probably fine. I did take a little umbrage with the fact that everyone was walking around in the water in Titanic when it would have been, like 34 degrees.
Oh, Jesus. Hypothermia.
Right.
And this is nice tropical water.
Like, at the end of the movie, everybody freezes in the water. But on the boat, when they're in the water, it's just fine. They're walking around, no problem. And now the fact that the sharks have come into the compartments or the whatever. And here's where they've come to the realization that the sharks are smart and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the sharks have deliberately sabotaged this plant.
And Sam Jackson, you just feel, man, the guy just knows how to command a scene.
And now she's saying, basically, we gave HGH to the sharks.
Yeah, we
I guess it'd be SGH, right? Shark growth hormone, not human. That's a great line. You stupid bitch. Sometimes swear words lose something. Saying fuck you to somebody just doesn't mean what it used to.
No.
But for some reason, when you call somebody stupid and then another expletive, like you stupid bitch, That one stings a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
It's like a double shot.
Right.
It's like a jab and then the right hook. Like you're saying, I mean, like I said, Jane looks really damn good on screen, but like you said, just doesn't, there's nothing going on.
He's the Lex Luger of cinema.
He looks kind of like him. It's a total package.
Great look, great body, can't work for shit.
Just
no charisma.
He needs to do like some facial muscle exercise.
Can't talk.
At least he's not reading his lines off a cue card.
Well, do we know that for sure?
Oh, well, I don't know about him. I know Luger, he'd be staring down at teleprompters all day long. Like, I can't cut this shit.
I know. We got a riddle?
Jackson, man, he don't need no help, man.
Well, where are you going to go?
Where are you going for? We're all kind of heading in the same direction here.
Man, look at that water.
I don't know if he's scared or he's trembling.
He's acting like he's cold, but I can't imagine.
He's cold now, man.
Well, no, the blood's flowing to other places.
It's going down, the blood's flowing where it's cold, man.
And here we've got the shark coming down the hallway.
Yeah.
Which, to me, this is
beautiful.
Slightly reminiscent of my favorite movie, Sharknado, where the shark swims up the street next to the school bus.
Oh.
It's tremendous. It's so bad. It's almost unwatchable, Sharknado, but it's so great. I love it. Oh, that'll do it. Shark point of view.
Oh.
But I mean, is that orange juice? This is a cool, it's such a cool visual, right? Because it's like the hallway.
Yeah.
And here comes a shark down the hall. You know, I bet he didn't think that morning when he woke up that there'd be a shark in the hallway. We got Freddy's boiler room here. Still more production value than Jason X. Yeah, they've got a like a submersible kind of thing, right? That they can.
They had one.
They had one. Whoopsie. Yeah, the shark went in and bit all the wires so that it wouldn't work anymore. Ooh, Eggs Benedict. Less than a week ago, I had Eggs Benedict with crab cakes on them. Unbelievable. One of my favorite meals. Look at all that Campbell's soup.
Oh, yeah. Big can.
I mean, Jesus Christ. That's the concentrate, too. You still got to put one can of water in there, right? That's enough chicken noodle soup to...
one of those big pots.
There's only 7 people on the whole goddamn plant or ship or whatever you call this compound. Oh, yeah, go in your pot.
Oh, here we go.
He just calls it bird?
Just bird. There's no friggin' name for the parrot.
The parrot keeps calling him, like, names.
Oh, here we go.
And got him.
That's a beautiful shot, man.
It was awesome.
The overhead shot, beautiful. Oh.
And now he's trapped under there. Like, maybe he's not. But they've really set this up to be a good suspenseful scene.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
He's going to hide in the oven. Where else would you go? I can't get over the teeth on this thing.
Oh.
Like, I feel like this thing's scarier than the great white.
Oh. It's like the Ferrari of sharks, you know.
Right.
It's more compact, fiercer, faster.
I mean, what was the plan here?
There's only like one seat in that thing to begin with. Is someone going to go in there, go for help, and come back a couple of days later?
Like you take two, like you put, and then you just go and then come back and take another one, and
it's a long way to shore, I guess. They had to get a chopper out here.
Get to the chopper.
The chopper.
That's an industrial grade oven because the shark broke through the plate glass that was separating the inside from the outside, but it can't break through the oven. Well, the shark was smart enough to turn the oven on. He does have an axe. I mean, there you go. Let's go in the broiler. Good plan. I mean, this is so dumb, but so great.
Tighten me up.
Kitchen's filling up. Now, the shark turned on the gas, correct? In this oven? Meanwhile, the oven is underwater.
Oh, there we go. A bird. A bird you didn't bother to give a name to. That's nice. Oh!
I mean, I don't think that's how gas stoves work.
No.
That's not how explosion or gas explosions work. That was the Deep Blue Sea equivalent to the car going off the cliff and exploding before it even hits the ground, which I'm always critical of. Why does he keep calling it a lagoon?
A lagoon? The Blue Lagoon? I don't know.
I mean, Deep Blue Lagoon would have been
Deep Blue Lagoon
would have been more appropriate title. I mean, here we go talking all this jargon again. I like that somebody's going to go rogue a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not rogue, but
a little off the handle and everything. Yeah.
Like, I think it's the appropriate time.
Yeah. For nerves to get frayed and someone going a little...
Right.
Just twitchy and everything.
So, I feel like this scene, despite the fact that, you know, it's supposed to be motivational, it still feels kind of like unnecessary. Like, do we really need the backstory of this guy's whatever? I mean,
avalanche incident.
Only the whole point of this,
It's kind of all the build up to the punchline here we're getting to in about half a minute.
I just don't know if it's worth it. Like, they went through this whole trouble of creating the backstory and having somebody know about the backstory. LL Cool J knew the history at the bar, and I don't know. Like, couldn't he have just been giving a motivational speech?
Sure.
That isn't
based on the backstory and
right.
everything. Yeah,
that doesn't matter.
But still.
Nobody saw that coming.
The shark looks like shit, but it's phenomenal.
It looked so bad. It looked so bad. And it was like the 1 hour mark exactly.
It's exactly where it needs to happen.
And two of them. This looks so terrible.
Oh, yeah. It's really bad. Oh.
I guess, in case anybody hasn't listened to some of our previous commentaries, this is a good segue point for my story about the night that this movie...
Yes.
The Friday night that this movie opened.
Yes.
I was working at the cinema at the time, and there was... we had a guy... I'll refrain from mentioning the man's name, but
sure.
He was our one of our projectionists, and it was typically his job to assemble the movies. For all of you youngsters out there, movies actually used to be on film, and they came in 15 to 20 minute sections on reels of film that came to the theater unassembled, and the projectionist had to put them together. Mm-hmm. They were numbered and so on and so forth. Well, come to find out, and I don't remember if I was working. I feel like I was not working this Friday night, but I worked the next day and heard the story that for the first one or two showings, maybe the whole day on Friday, I'm not 100%. As it turns out, the movie was assembled in the wrong order.
Yes.
And the report that I got was that Sam Jackson was eaten and then came back to life, resurrected shortly thereafter. So whatever reel we're in now, probably reel 4 at this point, maybe 5, was assembled. I think it was just, 2 of them got switched.
Yeah.
So this big climax scene happened, and then we jump around. We did 20 minutes back, and then we skipped, 40 minutes ahead or whatever. And I assumed a customer probably said, "Oh, by the way, something wasn't right. Something wasn't right." And oopsie. So in that case, the film actually has to be dismantled from the beginning in, and then taken apart and put back together in the right order. It's not a quick fix.
That's a lot of work.
Not something that can necessarily be done in the 30 minutes in between showtimes.
Yeah, no.
I mean, in my heyday, I maybe could have done it, but I feel like it's almost where you have to cancel an entire showing.
Yeah.
Or stay late at the end of the night and do it after the last show or before the first show the next day. But anytime anybody says Deep Blue Sea, that's what I think of. I think of that incident. Those poor people, and obviously everyone who complained got, or was in there, got a free movie to come see later on. What is this shit?
Or Shark Vision.
That would have been a better title. Did we lose somebody while I was telling a story there? Somebody get eaten?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
No.
So Rappaport's theory here about this shaft being open was correct. They are now
ascending,
going up to the surface level. Now that's a brilliant story. If you open up the shaft there, then the water fills up the lower level before it goes up this shaft. Meanwhile, the shark is just busting through doors. Now there's a shark in the shaft. It's still a good plan, though.
Yeah.
Open up level 2. And it's level 2 where Cool J is? It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Probably. He's got to rejoin them at some point.
But that one also had water on it. Yep, there it is. Therefore, making this plan not good because it's going to let more water.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the idea is.
Well, the idea was that had no water on it. So as the water's rising, it goes through the door and fills up level 2 as opposed to continuing up the shaft. Okay. That was the logic. But level 2 already filled with water. It's already
flooded, yeah.
So now the shaft's going to fill quicker. Right. But he didn't know that.
Oh.
There he almost lost a
clip it at the
butt
needles.
cheek.
Yeah.
I mean, that escalated quickly.
Yes, it did. They're de-escalating now.
I mean, oh, but love can build a bridge here.
Uh-oh.
And old Blondie's gone, right?
Yeah, she's gonna bite it. Well,
it's gonna bite her.
Something else gonna bite her in a second.
Oh, we can go all day, folks.
We've got a million of them.
Tip your waiters.
We got 3 more shark movies to go after this.
At least. At least. There's got to be more out there that we can cover. I envision someday there'll be an entire shark playlist on the channel. Now, I also question at some I mean that actually looks like the animatronic. Man, that's the animatronic.
Yeah, it was.
So that one looked better. The sharks keep eating these people. At what point are they full?
Get full.
I mean, are we just eating to eat? Chewing to
binging on something, man.
I mean, and who had the over on Michael Rappaport still being alive at an hour 7? I mean, not me. When this thing started and he showed up, I went, oh, he's dead. I mean, Tom Jane looks like the kind of guy who's going to make it to the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just kind of go, oh, that guy's going to live.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, he's got the action star look to him. He's in this skin-tight bodysuit. He's got this whole physique going on.
He's the exact opposite of Michael Rappaport.
Yeah, he's got this dyed blonde hair and everything. He's making himself look like the man here. There we go.
What a reunion. I don't know if a salute was the right comedic beat there. I mean,
a little uninspired, yeah.
As much as I don't like campy jokes,
yeah,
I feel like one was warranted there.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
I don't know. Yeah, just kind of a off moment or whatnot. I don't know. Just like it's like one of those moments where like you want to come up with something clever. It's like I don't know. It just doesn't click in your head or something. I don't know. This feels weird.
I mean, I like his character.
Yeah.
So wait, the sharks are just like ramming the concrete? Is that what's happening? He does look like $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, 60 feet from the surface? I feel like you could hold.
Doesn't sound like a whole lot.
You could hold your breath and probably make it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not a hurricane though.
Yeah.
And these are the final 4 here, right?
Right.
We're down to 4.
Right.
Not that we started with very
Right.
many. I mean,
Got lost people in kind of rapid succession here, so they picked up the pace on that.
oh, and the bird. We lost the bird.
Another bird. Well,
The bird didn't have a name.
the bird's
just bird.
not. Bird ain't got a. He's not a main character if he doesn't have a name.
Skin is starting to hemorrhage. Sorry, makes it sound like we're slightly behind the dialogue. I was processing that. That doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't sound right. Your skin doesn't hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is bleeding underneath the skin. It's internal bleeding is what hemorrhaging is. As far as I'm aware.
I mean, I feel like hemorrhage, you can hemorrhage blood outside the skin too, but the idea is that there is a leak of some kind, right?
I don't recall him getting injured.
The skin can't hemorrhage. Blood hemorrhages.
Yes.
That's a weird line. I'm still stuck on it. He's got a $1 million smile.
Oh, yeah.
Cool J.
Ah.
I mean, what a great name. I don't know if he gave himself that nickname. I don't think that's allowed, right? You're not allowed to give yourself a nickname.
No, that doesn't flow.
But he's cool.
Oh, yeah. He's got charisma. He's likable.
What is this shot?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was almost like a point of view. You know what I mean? That.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they're just.
I mean, I guess it's just a
showing
state of the union. Yeah.
A linear move that we're transitioning back down this way.
There's usually a point in these movies, and we've now reached it, where one or two people decide that they need to swim and branch out to go find the other chamber, the other section, the spot. Swim to safety, swim to, another part of the ship, another.
Yeah. So someone's got to go off and try to find the thing that's going to save their asses.
And this is it.
Yeah.
So wait, he came all this way to be told stay here? I mean,
uh-oh.
Like, where do they keep coming from? How many are there?
There's supposed to be 3.
Well, Cool J blew up one already with one the
down.
Oven.
Should put a timer on this, see how long he's underneath the
water. Yeah.
Like your lethal weapon for
it's the worst.
Down under there for 5 minutes.
It's the worst. There's no way. Who dat?
Skarsgård, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one arm.
You got to keep that.
He's still got one arm. Look at it.
You got to keep that respirator in, man.
Well, screaming isn't going to help.
That's not going to do you no damn good.
I mean, if you're out of breath, the last thing that you want to do is scream.
Exactly. You don't have anything left in there. Rappaport ain't holding it together, man.
Well, yeah, he's been on edge this whole movie. You're just going through people's stuff? I mean, that's rude. Sherman Dudley is...
Oh, it's a Dudley boy here. From Dudleyville.
This better be his camcorder, otherwise he's an asshole. I mean, it's not a bad scene.
Yeah.
I get it. See, little comedic value.
Yeah.
The fact that they did this means that they could have come up with something in this shaft for the reuniting. They really could have come up with something.
Yeah.
He's right. 3 eggs does make the perfect omelet, by the way. I've gotten real good at it. I can flip it in the air.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You got to flip it.
Flip it for real.
Right.
For real.
Give me the keys. You've got to talk like this. I don't know what that did, but it looked official.
Power turning on, I guess. For what reason?
Well, thumbs up. We're going to spend another 6 minutes underwater here. Uh-oh.
Oh.
He gone. See, again, it looked so bad.
Yeah.
The attacks looked terrible.
That one was really bad.
Like, I like the idea is good.
Yeah.
That was good. You go up, get a breath.
Yeah.
I like this where you can kind of see the place that they were, you know? Like this is the place where the shark...
the whole thing began.
You know, at least at this point, like you kind of lose geography on this. But this
kind of resets the entire thing, yeah.
The shark coming down the stairs.
He's got to go down the stairs. Oh, come on. He just took a swipe at him. Come on.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, you must be full. That's got to be it.
Oh.
He just had a little Rappaport for a snack. You stupid bitch. With water shoes. I don't remember water shoes being a thing until like the last 5 years.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I didn't realize they were around 20 years ago. But now I don't go anywhere without them. I mean, I don't go any water areas without them. Like I didn't bring them here today. Yeah. Water shoes are awesome. Again, like I've lost track of where they are. Like
a little bit, yeah.
I don't know what level they're on. I mean, maybe if we had the sound up and we were actually like engaged in the story, but I mean, the filmmaker's argument might be it doesn't matter. Just, you know, go along with it.
But it would be nice to know how disconnected they are.
Right. Like here it says sublevel 1. So now we know that they're only one story.
Right. Because they all originated from that one cabin they had there where he was recording the video. They went off to the or it was a lab or whatnot. And she just decided to go somewhere for some reason.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. So now we're making fun of the stereotype that, like, the black guy dies first in the movie.
Oh.
Or maybe not first, but... Which, in his defense, was a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there was like a token black guy in the cast, and he very rarely made it until Reggie the Reckless was the innovator. What an opportunity squandered that they never brought him back.
Oh, we talked about that plenty. Hello. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Just the model. Now, what would have... There's no current. You know what I mean? Like, what would have propelled that in her direction?
No.
I mean, the animatronic is scary as shit.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But the dichotomy between that and the digital is...
So far.
It takes me out of the movie.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. That's plausible. You know, if you can't see where you're going. And I forget, what's in the pouch?
I don't know.
It's something she got out of her locker.
Yeah.
It's such a scary looking shark, though. Like, in some ways, I feel like it's scarier looking than the great white.
There's just something about the lines of it or something like that. It just feels a little bit more sleeker in a certain way.
The teeth
yeah,
really...
the teeth are just nightmarish.
That's a great word for them. And here we got a little underwear shot to satisfy the 18 to 29 demographic, or whatever it is. 18 to 34. And here we electrocuted it. Like, was it Jaws 2? I think, where they electrocute the thing.
I think so, yeah.
I like that she stood on the wetsuit to ground herself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sensational, but still logical.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
Sideways shark. Dead. Oh, it's her...
Oh, her files.
The data files,
yeah,
yep.
Okay, her research.
Now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit more later, but apparently the film was originally built around her being like the main protagonist of the whole thing, that people would design for people to get behind her, but I guess test screening audiences really didn't like her character because they felt like she was a little too self-serving in
Yeah, she's a heel.
Yeah. She's the one who jacks them up with the hormones and all that stuff, the steroids, whatever the case is, and now she goes off to on her own and whatnot to risk stuff to get her own files. So it's like and she doesn't do anything to kind of like turn a corner to be like, okay, I'm gonna like put my own interests away and help everyone else. And kind of
the greater good.
There's no redemption quality in the character. So I guess they cut out of the test screen. They kind of cut out a couple of scenes earlier in the film. They kind of softened her character, so they kind of kept her a little bit more on the, just went more directly for the distasteful element of the character. And they saw that people reacted well to LL Cool J's character, so they kept, for a reason, they just, I don't think they reshot anything with him, or maybe they reshot some extra stuff, who knows, with all those scenes with him and the bird, but they kind of like, okay, we can shift it over to someone like him, where everyone's very much engaged with his character, so they still had somewhere else for the story to go, where it didn't kind of botch things up in the narrative.
Makes sense. So they are decompressing or pressurizing, I guess. Yeah. And from here, it's 60 feet to the surface. He said, just take a deep breath. You'll be good. I don't know if they're going to, if something about blowing the airlock so that maybe it'll propel them.
Would think so, yeah.
And go. I mean, I was going to say, what if you use the extinguisher to
just
shoot you?
Yeah, like a jet.
Yeah. Although I think those are those like emergency markers.
Okay.
I could be wrong. But, I mean, that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
And I also think this is tremendously scary. Like, knowing that you're running out of air and you can see daylight.
But this thing's moving faster than you are. And
it got it got the thingy. I thought it got a person. I don't think I could hold my breath that long.
No. No.
I think on a rewatch of some kind, I will hold my breath when that scene starts. Just to see. And it's also different underwater.
Right. Because you're exerting yourself. Trying to swim upwards and everything. And then fear kicks in and all these different anxieties and everything. So just stabbing him with the cross.
The fact that Skarsgård lost an arm like that.
Yes.
And Cool J still has 2 legs right now.
Yeah.
It's a little Renny, huh?
Right in the eye.
Like, he shouldn't have a leg.
Yeah. Should be half a man right now.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It makes about as much sense as him blowing up the shark with the oven. The gas that at that point was shooting into the water, not into the air.
Yes.
This looks like Armageddon here. And he gets off with a puncture wound? I ain't buying it. Just not buying it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've made it to the surface.
Yeah. But there's nowhere to go.
So what you're saying is, and this is what I thought from the beginning, that they were in like an enclosed facility.
Yeah. I think they did have the tiger shark in. I think that's what he was wrangling with at the beginning of the film in the tank there. I don't know why they had a tiger shark in with the different other sharks.
There's our line about the deep blue.
Yeah.
The fact that they want to get into the deep blue sea. It's
little threads.
It's thin. Anorexic, as Murtaugh would say. Maybe it was Riggs. Like, okay, the shark can think for itself. Maybe not as ridiculous as following somebody to the Bahamas, but
yes.
At least they gave a scientific explanation for it.
Yes.
And now it wants to get out in the open ocean. Okay. I mean, again,
well, it's just about eating up everything there is here, so it's got to go somewhere else to eat.
I've suspended my disbelief this long.
Yes.
You know, I can manage the idea that it wants to just get out.
Yeah.
Do you see how hairy his arm was there? I mean, like from the elbow down, he's Robin Williams. And again, they have this, they had the establishing shot at the very beginning of the movie where he shoots the harpoon to set up the idea that it was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bait. Use Cool J.
Throw in there like some chum.
That's right. Well, okay, she's going to slice herself on whatever that is. I mean, the fact that it bit on the red wine at the beginning of the movie tells me that it's not all that smart. You stupid bitch. I like that he opened one eye. That's so good. That looks bad. Does she really think she can swim? I mean, the thing literally came 20 feet into the air to eat Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Nightmarish.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
So,
because originally she was going to survive the whole movie.
That's a decent swerve.
Yeah.
I mean, she made it over an hour and a half. Like,
right.
You don't expect a main character to die off with 10 minutes left in the movie. So that being said, I like it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He's going to come up here.
I mean, how many lives does that cat have? Too many is the answer. You do have me questioning now if any of these are him with a real shark.
Yeah.
there was a shot, a very quick half a second shot, right before, in between the shark eating her and coming after him, where it looked like him and a real shark in the water, but the animatronic is so good that it's hard to tell.
You can't tell, yeah.
Like, you can kind of tell that this is the robot, because you know that
it's doing what they want it to do.
Right.
Yeah.
But some of these scenes where it's thrashing look too good to be a robot.
Possibly. I mean, we saw the thing at the beginning, with the film when it was lifted up out of the water there. It was thrashing around really realistically then.
Kablooey.
There we go.
Holy Christ. Really? That seems excessive.
Well, it's Renny, man. He wants to make sure that that's the end of it. That's definitive. Get your money's worth.
I remember the first time I saw this, I did think for a minute that Cool J was going to be the only survivor. And I really do feel like there's no way he should have lived through this movie.
No. Well, it's also like Halloween H2O. He gets shot or something like that, and he comes back 5 minutes afterwards. Just fine.
I feel like, well, look at this shit.
Jeez, oh.
I just feel like too many things happened to his character.
Yeah.
Where he shouldn't have lived.
Yeah. You kind of notice how this framing looks a little kind of like big negative space on the left. And they go back to the wide shot.
Yeah.
They digitally erased the actress who just got chomped by the shark because she was supposed to live to the end.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. When they go back, it's going to be like...
She was sitting there?
Yeah. It looks a little odd how it's kind of framed, doesn't it?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's just like a big blue background, so they don't really have to deal with much. Because I guess, like, again, audiences kind of booed when she was kind of like left as more of a heroic figure without actually earning it by the end of the film.
Right.
So, yeah. Quit this job.
Here comes the next shift. Like,
here comes the next shift. Fuck you.
Can you imagine if you just roll up in the boat?
Yeah. It's like, what the shit? Here's LL's track in this whole thing, which soundtrack apparently didn't do any good, and the song didn't chart anywhere. Where's Kiva Goldsman? He's a producer.
A producer, okay.
Yeah. The song didn't chart anywhere, so sadly.
No. Yeah, I imagine.
I was listening to it, like, it's not half bad, but the fact is, it doesn't suit you anything if you haven't watched the film, because it's entirely talking about the film itself. So, one of the things like, okay, it's a song made for the soundtrack that's almost too exclusive to the setup and the plot of the film that you can't just listen to on the radio. It's like, why is
it's all
singing
spoilers
about a freaking shark?
Right, spoilers.
Well, it's not even so much spoilers, just like he's talking about, it's all talking about the shark and how dangerous and all these black eyes and stuff like that. It's like, outside, if he didn't do the film, the song wouldn't exist.
Right. So it's not a standalone.
Right. It doesn't kind of appeal outside of anyone who hasn't seen the film. So
you'll notice that he was Thomas Jane credited here as the full Thomas. Also, I noticed there were 3 editors.
Woohoo!
I feel like that's
3 screenwriters too.
Right. So, I don't know. That's kind of a red flag for me.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean,
but I mean, overall, like, it's a total like summer popcorn flick.
Yeah.
You pay your $7-8 You get your, like, you go, you sit down, you have a good time.
The thing is, it's not total schlock.
No.
Did
you see the Meg?
No, I did not.
Total schlock.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get to that someday in the shark series. But
this has enough moments where it does generally earn some dramatic moments and quality of characters, stuff like that, and you can. It's genuine enough in what it's doing. It's not going for cheesy shit.
Sure,
really.
I
the
will
CGI
say,
is borders on the cheesy end, but the execution of the tone and the story and the quality of the characters, you can get genuinely invested in what's going on and have a fun time with that.
It's a little much as far, like, you really have to suspend your disbelief.
Yeah.
In certain, with the premise of the sharks being smart and whatever. Yeah. However, that being said, the logical steps that the characters, the journey that they go on, like the actions of this scene lead to the actions of the next scene, and so on and so on. It's not just a bunch of random shit for the sake of random shit.
It has a chain reaction of events that you can
make sense.
They make sense, and you can trust in the intelligence of the characters that they know what they're doing. They're not just creating random bullshit out of their asses somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you have to suspend disbelief as far as the overall
science. Yeah.
But one thing begets the next thing,
right?
And down the line to where you don't lose
track.
Like
you're not
buy
losing
in
the narrative,
right? You buy into what they're doing,
right?
The only thing that really takes it out of it for me is the bad CGI. Like, you go, oh, because the animatronic is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah. Mention here, second unit director David Ellis. He's the guy who directed the second and fourth Final Destination films.
Okay.
So he started out second unit stuff and all that.
The fourth one is so bad. But all of them are in our archives. So if you're a fan of the Final Destination films and you're new to us, please go back and listen to those. Bill Purple is a great name. By the way, I just scrolled past. Wilson Kwok, not a good name. No. Not a good name. But Bill Purple, I want to be Bill Purple.
Sid and Sam Scrocken. It's borderline. Maldonado. That's all right.
It's always fun to read, look for bad names.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the CGI, most of it was done by, I think it was...
Hammerhead Productions?
Well, some of it, Industrial Light and Magic is what I'm getting to, but again...
They were new. Newish.
Well, just the fact that, again, it's between 60 and 80 billion. It's like, it's still a little short on what you'd really need to have the time to render everything and get the time in, to pay them for the time to do as much work on the CGI to get as much out of it.
Right, because, I mean, you have movies, this is 99.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 was what, 91?
91. And
so
that was 100 mil.
It was the most expensive movie ever made.
Yeah.
But I mean, and granted, there's a lot of blowing up cars and action sequences. But
and they had a. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the animation, the CGI in that is, I mean, head and shoulders the best.
Right.
Arguably
they
of the
had
90s.
So much time to work on a few effect shots. They had I don't know how many they had, but where it was working on the stuff with the T-1000, those are the only real digital effects they really had to work on. So they had a lot of time to work on that, to develop it and get it as good as it possibly could. And same thing with Jurassic Park. They used the animatronics, but they used the CGI where they had to. They had a lot of time to do it. They had a lot of a lot of prep time ahead of the film to get things going, to make sure they were the best quality by the end of the product.
Right. Well, I guess even with $100 million budget,
right.
all of it wasn't used on the CGI.
No.
But I bet that most of this 60 million was probably on the digital side, and it didn't pay out, is my point.
Right.
That you got more for less in a better movie than this. So I wish that they had, I wish it was just a little better.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good stuff. I mean, Renny, like we say so many times, he does work on getting a lot of good quality stuff. I don't know if you're watching the Blu-ray, I don't know why they have this film certification certificate at the end of the damn movie here. This end screen is bizarre. I've never seen that before. It's
so weird.
Strange. But anyway, guys.
It took me aback.
If you want more Renny, we've done Dream Master, we've done Die Hard 2, and I reviewed Long Kiss Goodnight, which we might seep into the commentaries at some point. We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see where things go.
He's done some other fun stuff, though.
Trent and I could maybe do a cliffhanger or something at some point.
I haven't seen Cliffhanger in forever.
I haven't seen that much, but anyway, just it's high-end titles.
Yeah, we need more shark movies.
Yes. So,
happy birthday, Deep Blue Sea.
Yes. So, thanks, guys, so much, and we'll be back with those great stuff shortly.
Sounds good. See you next time.
Bye-bye.